All right, everyone, welcome back for another episode of Carnivore Trade. Today is Wednesday, November 27th, 2024. If you're not done so already, please give the video a thumbs up, like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Come find me on carnivoretrades.com for swing trading alerts, analysis, and live day trading. I appreciate the support got lately. Again, it's been definitely noticeable, and I appreciate you guys all commenting and everything and helping out the channel here. Again, if you're interested in getting involved too, again, I'm going to keep pumping this because it's Black Friday and everybody's doing it. But we got our sale here, Active Trader, 25 bucks, dude. Try it out. Awesome stuff. 30% off of swing trade first month. Only 10 slots available. You're filling up fast. And 50% off courses and consulting plans. And 25% off full-time consulting. DM for promo codes. These ones are available just on the site. They are live. Anyways, let's get into it here today. So what happened here? I'm seeing a lot of possible liquidity grabbing going on earlier today. Now, to be fair, we were up 7 days in a row. So here you go, 3, 6, 7. So a pullback day here into essentially double top on S&P. And we saw a lot of selling in the NASDAQ earlier. And we did see a V shape though. Now I think that there's some, like looking at the SMH, I kind of like this setup here. So I know we broke the trend line and that's going to get everybody bearish. And then we had a nice bear flag there, textbook, but you're not following through here. And a little uptick in volume. And we came off the lows very nicely, as you can see, a nice V shape there into the bell. And there was some gamma at 237.50 for the week. And I think that's where we could close the week, depending on how Friday goes. There's going to be some end-of-month stuff going on Friday. I won't have a video out. I will have a special video out on futures tomorrow. So check that out. It should be around like 10 or 11 in the morning. So you got all weekend to watch that. I might get one extra video out for you guys too. But in any case, won't be a video Friday unless something crazy happens. I don't know, Putin or something, But right now, yeah, bear flag, no follow through, and close above the 200 MA. I think AMD is interesting too. Like a lot of this has got to be one of the most hated stocks here right now, and in a hated sector. Now, to be fair, you have hit this trend line a lot, and you have lower highs hitting it now. So to be fair, the momentum is weakening, but it had the same kind of setup here. So liquidity grabbing. Take a look at XLV as well. I mentioned this here a week or two ago, but right into that area, big breakdown candle. And I said, like, look, do we not know that RFK is with Trump? But now the news is official, so we're just dumping out. Look at where we bottomed, right on OPEX, right? XBI, look at where we bottomed, right on OPEX. It's kind of convenient, right? And now we're right back up here, reclaiming all the moving averages on the weekly. So definitely seeing some of that kind of action here going on. Maybe some opportunities there as we get closer to the end of the year. Again, I don't really see us declining that much. Could we have a little bit of a back off? I think maybe early next week is possible. We could be setting up a little bit of a base, so it wouldn't surprise me to see a little bit of uptick in volatility. But right now, we're just kind of basing for, I think will be the last trend leg into the end of the year. Possibly into Jan. We'll talk about that more when we get there. But right now, again, market's backing off today. Look where we closed, right? 6,000. QQQ 505. That's a big level for Friday. Big gamma level. If we do decline on Friday, I think 500's max move. And I think 510's max move on the upside. So pretty simple here. Just 50, 5-point increments. Gamma's pretty simple when they make it like that. So 510 is a cap for Qs right now. But again, looking at the NQ here, I think it's pretty easy to see. We did close back above our master level right there. So we can go to a 4-hour, make that easier. There you go. So we're back above that level. That's been the key point of control. And again, as long as bulls just keep making higher lows here with this equal high, path of least resistance here is up. You look at Apple, you guys know I like this. A lot of people got bearish because we broke the trend line. We never really did it on the weekly though. And you still just have a nice big fat ascending wedge here. Again, I think I've shown this before, but not to get like too bold up, but this is possible, right? Measured move, 270. Can you stomach that? It's possible. And I said this before, like, I don't know if people are bullish enough, back when we had that 200 break. It's possible. So you want to talk about end of year blow off, catch up trade. It's real. I'm not saying it will happen, but the setup is there. Right now, 600, like we talked about on SPY, is our weekly kind of resistance there. And, you know, we'll see if they can break it on some BS window dressing at the end of the week. 510 QQQ. 240 seems to be a little bit of a floor right now in IWM. And I think that needs to base more. Then I think that can try to make a run at 250. Dow touching 450, so that's 45K DJI. So congrats to the bulls there. New all-time highs, but no follow-through. No problems, though. SMH we talked about. I think it's interesting here. IGV, again, this was down 1.78. This one did not come off the lows as much. So again, I'm looking for something like up. It's looking a little tired here. Maybe one more, and then maybe a little roll, and then SMH could see some money flow. I think that's very possible. Dow Transport's here, no problems. Inside bar action. I think that's setting up for another all-time high run too. Now I'm going to segue this here into yields, because isn't it funny how, and I mentioned this as soon as it happened too, isn't it funny how like right here, whenever it was, let's just use the 10s. It was back here in the beginning of the month or end of October. I don't know the exact day, but funny how Druck and Paul Tudor Jones were like, we're shorting bonds. But they didn't mention that they were short bonds down here. They just waited until it was up here to tell everybody they were short. So are they just distributing into that? Because now the 10-year is down, and you've had a nice move in IWM, KRE, some of that Trump trade stuff here, and you've had a move out of tech. So maybe they're pairing that up with some tech longs here into the end of the year. But you are seeing weakness here. 10-year back below that trend line. 30-year. It's a little bit better, but still backing off. And then we've got 2s and 5s. Again, a little bit better, but still back. There's plenty of room for higher lows here, but still backing off. So maybe the Fed gets out of jail here. You know, if this goes down, then they're okay to cut. But it's got to start really going down. You got to break 410, I think, in order to really change this setup here. But yield's definitely backing off a little bit. And we just call a spade a spade. I don't really care. Ultimately, I think yields are going higher in the long term. But in the near term, there's nothing to say you can't just rally and have counter trend moves. I've never said anything like that. So we got to call a spade when we see it. And 10 years backing off. I firmly believe that, Druckenmiller was not buying up here. I'm sure he was buying down here when, I was getting long TMF, and I think TMV is the one, right? Yeah, TMV. I haven't had it in a while, but I did buy that low. But anyway, just to throw that idea out there. A lot of liquidity grabbing, I think, going on. XHB, no problems here, down 20 cents. It's fine. VNQ pulled back off the highs, but look how much it was up today, up 63 cents. And yeah, I mean, the weekly looks like it's on breakout. So you got to get through 100, and then you got the 102.50 little pivot there. And this is textbook bull market behavior too, because look at what you hit. You hit the 618, you pulled back, you put in a higher low, and now you're hitting it again. So that's a good pullback off the 618. That's not a rejection and then like a failure. This is good pullback. So VNQ fine right now. XLF I think is ridiculously high on the hog, but it's still going up. It's up 10 cents in a down tape today. KRE down 22 cents. Maybe a little top heavy here, a little topping tail on Monday. Same thing with KBE, but no damage to the chart. Excuse me, broker dealers up 20 basis points. Let me make anything out of that. Oil flat as a pancake. I just don't have any trade on this. I'm going to get rid of this trend line. I don't even care about it. The trend is you got the lower highs here. I don't like that. I think we could see a little bit of weakness into the end of the year. I think you want to be a buyer of that, though. But right now, I don't have any trade on it. I do like XLE, though. And you can talk about yields all we want, but I got to go with the chart here. And this is still very bullish, very bullish. And it doesn't, energy producers do not need oil to go up to make money, as we've seen with the Trump move here. Deregulation is just as powerful sometimes. XOP managing to carve out a 1 cent gain, OIH up a third of a percent. Those are still fine. They're weaker than XLE though. CCJ backing off of the highs here. URNM backing off. That needs a higher low. Again, 50 still resistance, and the 200 MA is still resistance on NJ. So those are still a little neutral right now. Nat gas contract roll, I think we're on Jan. Yep, 7% decline. This should be going down into probably February, March. So I said this was likely a top. I think it is. Let's see, F. Yeah. So I would not look to buy dips on nat gas for a while. Dollar outside move down. So they got that. So look what they did here. I talked about, you know, the dollar maybe getting top heavy, and then they ran stops for 3 days. Got us all the way up to 108, and then a very good outside move here. That's an engulfing on the weekly if that holds by Friday. And look where we stopped, right into our little trend line here. Try to extend that out. Just go right there. Yeah. 20 MA, 105.50 trend line, and then this trend line. So right in this little box, this little X here, X marks the spot we could look for a higher low attempt. But right now, good outside move on the dollar and gold. The relationship with the dollar is gone. It's not always going to be inverse and negative. Geopolitical issues can come into play, and that can cause both of them to go up. I think that's what's been happening a lot lately. But gold here, you know, it's up today, but not as much as you'd think with the dollar getting destroyed. So I think if the gold can tighten up here on the weekly, I think it can go up into Q1. But we need to see a little bit more action, more backing and filling. Silver's a little softer, right? So again, kind of into this trend line here. Not really the lower high setup yet, but I think the contract roll kind of messed that up because that, yeah, there we go. Let's go right there. Okay, so we're kind of into that trend line there. And then you got the 200 just below. I don't think there's anything terrible for silver right now, but it's definitely a little bit weaker than gold. I might need to go test that 200. Might even get like a little liquidity grab down to 29. Be interesting there. Platinum, definitely not doing anything. This has been sideways for a year. Bulls want to see a higher low here. But definitely not good action getting rejected at 980. And then palladium, you know, you want to see a higher low here too. Got to get back above 1050. So these are, you gotta, you know, you gotta take profits in these when they give you these spikes, and that's what I've been doing when I get them. I will buy them back at some point, but I just need to see the setup, and it's just not there right now. Copper is still very soft. So you may have now a case that like you've got an inverted cup and handle here. Right, let me just see if this will make sense. Yeah, I'll invert this. So right, so it's kind of like this is the COPX. I can't invert the futures on this program anyway, but yeah, right. See that? So be careful with copper here. If this is a contract roll too, so we got to adjust our prices. So 410, I believe it was 4 before, right? Yeah. So if this level goes, we'll see 3.9. We'll say 385. Yeah, I'd say around there. Anyway, told you that Bitcoin would probably bounce here, and it did. Got a nice gain on this today. MSTR, we had members buying this yesterday too, right into the 20 MA. Look at how strong the trend is. So when you get a vertical move like that, usually the first hit of the 20 will bounce. Especially when the moving averages are spaced out like that. So it's pretty good odds there. Same thing on Bitcoin. We got a good bounce. I think Bitcoin is probably not ready to get to 100. But I could see something like, you know, that. Right. And it is kind of back into alt season, or maybe starting now. That doesn't mean Bitcoin can't go up. It just means, you know, it might underperform it. That's all. Because you look at ETH, 10% gain today. So picked up some yesterday at 33.20. Good timing, I guess. I was expecting just kind of like an up day and then maybe a base and then a break, but I'm not going to complain. It was like 10% in one day. So I'll take it. Nice trend line break. Next stop is 38 and then 4. So ETH still really strong here. And you're seeing all the other alts pick up too. You know, Doge there's nothing wrong with this daily chart. Dot, Litecoin, even XRP, like these are all looking fine here. Some of them are weaker than others, obviously, but I mean, like, I love talking about Pepe, but I mean, like, just flag into the 20 MA, right? So we're seeing those alts pick up here. I think Bitcoin, I wouldn't rule out like a pump or something tomorrow just because it's Thanksgiving. They always love to pump it in Thanksgiving. You get all those dinner table conversations, but I wouldn't rule out something like that and then a move up past 100. But Bitcoin, crypto, everything fine here. Seeing those alts pick up here, and that's good for the sector. The rally's broadening out, right? So also, that was another thing I said today too. Like Bitcoin was ripping, ETH was ripping today. Like you guys, this is not anything to worry about here on the NQ. This little sell, semis are down. We did come off the lows nicely, so I like having the crypto market. It's another kind of gauge for risk. But anyways, guys, I'll wrap it up here. Again, we'll see. We're trying to base right now. I think we can get one more good pop here, but no problems here. Look for some end of month stuff to go on Friday. We might see a little weakness early next week, but I don't think it's anything to be too worried about currently. So anyways, guys, I'll wrap it up here. Again, you guys take care. Don't forget to take advantage of the Black Friday deal. Come find me on carnivoretrades.com. I'll see you guys all next week.